And call the member for Hughes.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. This debate shows the complete disconnect that I see in this place every week that the opposition have. The opposition come into this parliament day after day and complain. They want more money spent on universities. They want more money spent on schools. They want more money spent on aged care. They want more money spent on disabilities, more money on hospital, more money for everything bar the kitchen sink. But yet, when it comes to creating the wealth that actually can pay for those things, they're against it every single time. We've got a complete disconnect. We've got, as the member for Kennedy correctly said, the Labor members of old would be rolling in their graves to see how today's Labor Party is rolled over and sold out to the Greens. If you want to create wealth, if you want to have more money for all the things that are important, that all of us as members of parliament see in our electorates, you've got to get behind the wealth creation projects of this nation. And whether you like it or not, it is the coal mines of this nation, that black coal seam that runs down our eastern seaboard, that is one of the greatest wealth creation things that we have in this nation. And yet the Labor Party want to close it down and stop it. To stop jobs, and why? Simply to try and win Green votes in the city. To give up on their own people in the regions. And we had the member for the Hunter Valley, which I hope the seat's correct today, talking about the decline in thermal coal exports. Well, unfortunately, the member for the Hunter Valley, his information is completely out of date. And why that a member that represents a coal area would come into this parliament and talk down the prospects of coal exports in this nation is beyond me. Let's look at some of the figures that the members on this side conveniently forgot. Last year, Madam Deputy Speaker, last year in this country, our coal exports increased in value 33%. We had the largest value of coal exports in our nation's history. Last year, our exports of thermal coal to Japan increased 50%. China's consumption of coal last year increased 5.2%. The International Energy Agency, with their latest predictions, predicts the world demand for coal will increase by 200 million tonnes out to the year 2020. And just some information out only this morning. In January, our exports of coal to China increased 9.4% year on year. And China also increased their imports in coal in January, up 40% from Indonesia and up 43% Russia. And yet we have members of the Labor Party talking down the prospects of coal. What would the old members of the Labor Party say if they saw that? And the member for Kennedy also talked about what's happening in the USA. As we've seen, a release only from last week from their Energy Information Administration, the title, US coal production, export and prices are up. In fact, the US last year had a 60% increase in their exports of coal. The largest year-on-year increase since the year 2001. And again, members of the Labor Party talk this down, pretend that the thermal coal exports are in this massive decline. And as the member for Kennedy talked about, we do need more baseload generation in this nation. Whether it comes from coal, whether it comes from gas, whether it comes from some other combination of renewables with some type of storage, doesn't matter. But we have to do it at what is the most economical price. When the member for Kennedy talks about comparing the cost of generating electricity from coal versus some type of intermittent and unreliable renewables, he does so, but he is not making a comparison of apples for apples. Even though he is correct that coal is much less cost to generate electricity, it is not an apples for apples comparison. You cannot compare dispatchable power versus intermittent and unreliable power in price. They are not the same product.
The member's time has expired. I thank the member.